Okay, so this is the first question. This is a reflex arc. So, what is the answer? What is the sequence of nerve cells through which an impulse passes from? Okay, first is Q. Why do you think so? First is Q. Think again. It's not PQR. First of all, there is like a sensory neuron, then relay neuron, and then the motor neuron. So answer is D. Next question. There is a diagram of a neuron. So there is a diagram of neuron. What structure are found at X and Y? One is the sensory neuron, other one is the motor neuron. Okay, now tell me what is present at Y and what is present at X. X is effector. D, gland and spinal cord. What will be the effect of strenuous exercise, mean a very hard exercise, on the volume of water lost through the skin and the kidney? If you are exercising, so loss through skin is sweating and through kidney is urination. So what would be the volume of water in skin and in kidneys? Okay, through skin it will increase and through kidneys it will decrease. So answer is C. Now the next one is related to eye. The diagram shows a section through an eye. What structure control how much light enter the pupil? You need to tell which structure control how much light enters the pupil. Is given. There are two type of muscles. There are two type of muscles that control the size of pupil. So which muscle represent that? SA, SA, D is lens, this one is retina, and these ones are the optic nerves. Okay, what is are the effects of adrenaline? What is the effect on breathing rate and what is the effect of pulse rate? It is also called as fight or flight mode hormone. So answer would be B. A person in a room is sitting at 35 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. What would be effect of then drinking several glasses of iced water? Body temperature, blood temperature would, if he is taking or she is taking the Very cold water, what is the effect on blood? Yes, of course, if he's drinking hot, cold water, the answer would A, that it would fall. Next one. What is an example of gravitropism? C. The growth of plant root towards the center of the earth. Which organ produces a hormone? Ovary. The diagram shows the structure involved in reflex action. What is the correct sequence? I've told you that this question is very important and often sequence is asked. So you should know the sequence. What is the sequence? Reflex arc is similar to the question number 1. So first of all, it is detected by the receptor cells on the skin. Then it is passed through the sensory neurons to the relay neurons, and then relay neuron is going to pass it to the effector cells or affected area. So answer would be B. Q, R, S and P. Okay. Next one. Which part of the eye is sensitive to light? Which part of eye is sensitive to light? Retina. Retina is the one where image is formed. It receives the light and form an image. Okay, the diagram is shown. The plant is placed in dark. Okay, but the root grows away. Why do you think so? The shoot will go away from the gravity. Okay, so what should be control? Like control means what should be like standard experiment for you, like or standard form of an experiment for you. Wait, you're not getting. You are doing some experiment related to plant and you have observed negative phototropism of the shoot. Okay, now this is the effect that you have detected. Now, what is control? In control, we have provided any specimen on which we are performing an experiment with all the suitable conditions. So, what is the most suitable control for this experiment in which all the conditions are applied or supplied? Now, we are checking the effect of gravity. On which of these systems is the effect of gravity is uniform? Why do you think so? It's D. B has a light. So light is not going, we are checking the effect of gravity. We are not going to change the light. So it cannot be B or C. It's A. Why A? Because we are rotating a plant, and rotation means that we are providing this whole plant the equal or the uniform effect of gravity. This one is stationary. That's why this one is growing away from the gravity. This one is moving, it means at some point this is going to change position. Mean if it's going upward against the gravity, if the position changes, again its direction is going to be changed. So control is the one in which uh, all the nutrients or all the conditions are given in ideal amount or in ideal situation. What is the ideal situation for gravity? When you move the plant, it means the gravity is not going to act on single point. It is going to act on this leaf, this leaf, this leaf, this leaf, even the stem, even the tip. So this is part of your ATP as well lesson. This is really important, how you can have a good control or a good control in an experiment. For example, you are checking an effect of temperature. Okay, so what should be the good control? Like, the one on which you are checking the effect of temperature is your experimental group, and the one with the all like maximum optimum temperature is your control group. If you are increasing or decreasing temperature, let's say we are checking the effect of temperature on plant growth. Okay, now we have to take 2 to 3 different temperatures, for example 20 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is our experimental group. We are going to check the effect of temperature on plant growth. We are checking whether which temperature is more suitable for plant. This is wait, and nobody is asking you which temperature is good. I'm telling you that this is the type of question you may have in your exam. This is experimental group in which you are changing something. You are changing temperature in this one, so it's an experimental group. Now, what is control in this one? The control is the one in which you give the maximum or optimum temperature. For example, the optimum temperature for this is 35 degrees Celsius. So in control group, you are providing it with the optimum condition, the ideal condition. So control in any experiment, whether you're checking effect of temperature, whether you're checking the effect of light, whether you are experimenting anything, the effect of gravity or anything, if you're providing something with the ideal amounts, that would be your control. Okay, and if you're changing it, then it won't be control, it would be experimental then. You have a control as a standard. Now you are comparing your experimental group with the standard one or the ideal one. For example, our ideal situation is saying that it is 35 degrees Celsius. This is our ideal situation. It means that on 20 degrees Celsius, the growth would be low. Now we are comparing it with our control, our ideal experiment, our ideal specimen. Essential. When we discuss chapter number 6, it's in very detail. For example, we are checking the effect of light on chlorophyll. Now, if we are providing the leaf with the light, it would be control. But if we cover that leaf with black sheet, it would be experimental. Mean we are not giving that plant the light. The deficiency of something leads to the experimental group, makes it experimental group. This is very important concept, you need to understand this. There is experimental group and then there is control group. What is control group? We are giving all the optimum conditions to that group. All optimum condition, optimum pH, optimum temperature, optimum light, everything is optimum. That is your control group. Okay. for example, 35 degrees Celsius is optimum for that plant. If you want to check the effect of temperature on enzymes, what will be optimum temperature for human? Yes. It's 37 degrees Celsius. Now that one is a control. That is control for human body or the human enzymes. Now if you're changing the temperature of that enzyme and increased it up to 60, the enzymes are going to get denatured. That is your experimental group in which you are increasing the temperature. Now you need to explain it. What is control group and what is experimental group? Why do mammals sweat? We have learned this in thermoregulation, mean the control of temperature. Why do to lose water vapors through the skin? What is thermoregulation? Why? What changes will happen when the temperature rises? If it's hot, what changes are made to a body? So what is the purpose of sweating? To cool the body. A. The diagram shows a section through a part of human eye. There are suspensory ligaments and there is a lens. Now if a person looks at an object which is far away, what would be changes? If you want to look at the far objects, the lens become thin. Why it becomes thin? Because the suspensory ligaments are pulling it. So it becomes thin. Yes, it's D. The suspensory ligaments contract and the lens become bigger in enlarges. When it becomes like more in length, it gets thinner. So answer is D. Okay, now again a temperature related thing. The diagram shows a capillary loop in the skin of mammal. These are capillaries. What will the capillary look like if the mammals become cold? What would be the size of capillary? So in thermoregulation, we have learned when the temperature is low, there are three different changes. One is shivering, two is the goosebumps, and third one is vasoconstriction. So which one is showing you the vasoconstriction? Which one is vasoconstriction? Vasoconstriction is the narrowing of blood vessels in which the say B cannot be because they are becoming bigger in size is vasodilation. Here the structure is totally different. In C, they are like increasing in height. So vasoconstriction is not about increase in height. It's about the reduction in the size of capillaries. So answer would be A. It would be more hidden. whenever you face sun, your face may appear or may become red. Why? In sun, face turns red. Why? In sun. So what changes makes the makes the face red? What changes make the face red? That is vasodilation. Now what is vasodilation? Because your capillaries, they become bigger in size, this B case. When they become bigger in size, they are quite exposed on your skin. They have direct link with the outer environment to exchange maximum heat. So the face turns red because they are exposed on your skin at that time. Okay?